Unless otherwise indicated, Ratchet Book Club is intended for a mature audience. Viewer discretion is greatly advised. Welcome to Ratchet Book Club, where we read hood classics and good classics. I'm Derek. 916-633-1537, Ratchet and Ratchet at gmail.com. Ratchet Book Club on Twitter, Ratchet Book Club on Facebook, Chapter 15. Tia. I pulled up to the address Bricks had given me and instantly felt some kind of way. Envious, perhaps? Like, I love the townhouse, but why couldn't I have gotten this beauty of a house? Because, what? Y'all weren't together? What? It was a newer built, white with black accents, vertical home with a private driveway that led to a garage with a modern glass door design. I could see that it even had one of those rooftop terraces for outdoor entertainment. And it was 5 minutes from downtown and walking distance from a lot of different venues and dining. Wow, you sound just like the things that you read on job statements. Here's why you want this job. It's 5 minutes away from everything. 2 minutes away from downtown. 3 minutes away from both freeways. 7 minutes if you warp. There's a warp pipe in the backyard. Takes longer to warp because you got to stuff yourself into a pipe. I don't know how Mario did it. Like, I really want y'all to think about how he stuffed himself down into that pipe and then was able to warp to other areas. Like, that travel had to be bad. Like, there are people who came before him. I figured he had to crawl through 400 yards of sludge and shit like the nigga from the Shawshank Redemption. Which I couldn't do, by the way. I think about that all the time. Like, what would I do? Like, if there was money on the other side, yeah, I'd do it, I guess. For like $50 million, I'd crawl through 4 football fields worth of shit. And breathe in 4 football fields worth of shit. But I've seen what some of y'all stuff is. What y'all do. Fuck y'all niggas. No. Maybe. I got out of my car still admiring the house and the others just like it on this street. It amazed me how much Jewel City's inner city was changing due to gentrification. This street looked so different, but it was only a block from Amethyst and parts of the hood that hadn't been gentrified yet. I assumed Bricks was already here, but it wasn't the Escalade I had been familiar with sitting in the driveway. It was a white Kia Optima. I went up to the front door and rang the doorbell. A slender, older lady with smooth, walnut-colored skin opened the door. Hey, sweetie, how can I help you? I'm supposed to be meeting Bricks, Broderick here, I pleasantly said. Oh, yeah, she said, stepping aside for me to enter. I forgot what he said your name was, but yeah, come on in. That's not a good thing. Like, you can't just be letting anybody up in the house because it's a woman and they said they're meeting Bricks there. Like, that could be a trap. It's a trap, my nigga. It's always a trap. Before I stepped inside, a big, bright, shiny, red, tricked-out old-school convertible car sitting on big tires sporting shiny chrome and red rims pulled up, making a lot of noise. That's a sentence. Whew. It parked at an angle, half in the driveway and half on the front lawn, behind the Kia. That's that fool right there, she grumbled, tossing the cigarette she had been holding. She started fanning at the smoke that was left behind. Bricks hopped out of the car and he swaggered towards the porch. That man knew he looked good. His attire was damn near matching his car. Red graphic tee with shimmery silver designs, black cargo-like pants with silver buckles everywhere, and red and black Jordan 5s on his feet. Accessories included a pair of shades, a few thick gleaming chains around his neck, ice in his ears, a big-faced silver watch, a couple of blinging bracelets, and I think I could see a pinky ring on his right hand. And I loved the way he was letting his hair grow out a little. It was becoming on him, and it was noticeable that he had a better grade of hair than his son's. I thought I remember him mentioning that one of his parents were mixed with something, but it wasn't white. Eyeing him scornfully, the woman said, "I know you ain't here to work dressed up like that." A smile instantly appeared on his face. He said, "Hell no, I ain't here to work." "Hey," Briggs greeted me as he ascended the porch. He was throwing me a mischievous grin. Seeing him respond this way to me made me blush. "Hey," I echoed coyly. The lady turned to walk away. She motioned for me to step inside, and he followed me inside, closing the door behind himself. Back to this house, though. I loved the way the inside was minimally decorated, yet it was tasteful and posh just enough. It had an open concept, and from the living room, I could see the dining room, into the kitchen, and even the backyard through the sliding glass doors. You know what it actually does sound like? Yeah, I'm old. I do sometimes, especially when I'm in hotels on tournaments and trips or whatever. I do watch those house shows where it's like, I'm 25 and my fiance is 22. I'm a beekeeper and he makes baskets for a living. And we have a combined income of $50 million. And we're looking for a house in some place that white folks haven't gentrified yet because we like to be the first. That's what these descriptions sound like. Also, that's how you find a mansion in fucking Papua New Guinea. Removing his sunglasses, he looked at the lady and scowled. "Have your ass been lighting up cigarettes in here?" "It was just for a little bit," she grumbled. I took note that she was comfortably dressed, equipped with a sponge in her hand. I assumed she was one of his workers. "You're so hard-headed, Vonda. I told you to stop smoking in my shit." He was annoyed, but kept his tone calm. "Tia, this is Vonda, my sister." "His big sister," she interjected. He grimaced. "What was the importance of mentioning that?" "'Cause you be acting like you the boss of me and I'm older than you, nigga," she stated. "I used to change your diapers." Bricks chuckled. "First of all, thanks. Secondly, I am the boss of you. Fuck you talking about. Anyway, Vonda, this is Tia." "Hi," I said. He motioned for me to follow him upstairs. I was confused, but I followed him anyway. He led me to a bedroom where there was undressed, double full-size beds, a dresser, and a flat-screen television mounted on the wall. He disappeared into what appeared to be a Jack and Jill bath because I could see straight into what looked to be another bedroom identical to the one we were in. "So that's your sister for real?" I said. "Yeah. She looked like her mama, and I looked like my daddy," he laughed. Our parents had kids that picked a side in looks. We looked the same, but we looked different at the same time. "She works for you?" "Yeah, but she just started doing this for me." He stepped back into the bedroom, walking over and sitting down on one of the beds, throwing his phone to the side of him. He patted the space on the other side of him. "Come sit down." I didn't sit next to him, but I sat at the foot of the bed. "Why you way over there, love?" "Because." "Did I do something wrong?" I looked up at the ceiling in bemusement. This man. "No, Broderick." "No?" He moved closer to me. "Why are you trying your hardest to resist me then?" "Because." "Because?" he mocked. "Is that your answer for everything?" I shook my head, trying to hide my bashful smile. I asked, "Can I work for you too?" Bricks laughed. "Doing what?" I shrugged. "Anything to make extra money." "Extra money? How often do you be doing hair?" "I could do it every day, but I don't." "Why not? I've seen your work. Hell, even Charmaine and the twins pulled your work up and said you were cold. Talking about they need you as their go-to person for braids and shit." I shrugged. "I haven't been just doing only hair that long. I used to work, remember? I'm not licensed to... shit, I don't know. I was thinking about returning to a regular job when Rain started kindergarten." "Look into it." I was confused. "Looking to going back to work?" He shook his head. "Nah, I'm saying see what it takes to get licensed, and we'll see about you getting a braid shop or something. That way, you can be your own boss and be there for the kids whenever you need to be." I looked at him in disbelief. "Bricks, really?" "Don't be worried we're going back to work, love. Keep doing hair from home part-time while you work on getting licensed and certified. Anything you need outside of that, just call me." Smiling big, I curiously asked, "So you make good money with this rent and shit, huh?" Proudly, he nodded. I do. I got quite a few of these that pay for themselves and then some. I just got those townhomes where you stay at, but I got 2 more small complexes, a strip mall, and I just got a big-ass plaza fully leased already where Major's ass is working. You run everything yourself? That seems like a lot to keep up with. I don't now. A lot of family and close friends work for me. I used to consider contracting with a management company, but why do that when I can employ my own people? I nodded with respect. I dig that. Listen to you, he teased. I laughed, but then my joviality died with thoughts of my relationship with Major. It had been a little while since I have thoroughly enjoyed him like this. We used to have so much fun and we were like the best of friends. But that was at the beginning. All his cheating and lies had damaged us. If I wanted us to get back on track, was I not ultimately damaging us by being in the presence of this man too? What if Major found out? He would hate me. As much as I wanted not to be drawn to Bricks, the more I found myself wanting him. I was definitely enraptured by his presence alone. But I was so conflicted on a moral standpoint. This man was Major's daddy. That fact was making it so hard for me to get lost in the idea of Bricks. Okay, so I think the thing that's getting me the most about this whole situation is the fact that the only thing that's stopping her from pursuing this relationship isn't Bricks per se. Tia, what's stopping her from this relationship is Major. That's how it's written. But honestly, it's just a way to prolong this book much longer than it needs to be. Like, Bricks isn't a fuck nigga. He's a fuck nigga, but he's a fuck nigga who's willing to risk it all for you. Meanwhile, Major's a fuck nigga who doesn't give a fuck about you at all, and everybody's already pointed that out. So the fact that you're still struggling over this in this book is just another way for the author to keep y'all apart until finally you just can't take it anymore after a big blow up or something like that, and in a fit of anger, you run over to Bricks and y'all are intimate. That's how I see it. Like, I just feel like if you were honest about this book, it shouldn't be this long. This book is literally 30 chapters long, y'all. That's a lot. This book could have been 15 chapters long, but they're stretching this shit out to get as much drama into it as possible. And it doesn't need to be that way sometimes. What's up, love? Bricks' voice interrupted my thoughts. I shook my head with dejection. It's him, huh? I couldn't provide an answer. You could tell me what's on your mind. It's what I'm here for, love. His voice and words were so coaxing and gentle. Lowering my head, I said, I just feel so stuck. I don't know what to do about all this. And then Major. I hate that you got to go through all this shit, love. I wish you had seen everything you see now back then. I hated when he kept throwing up my choice in my face. It was annoying, and it made me feel crappy. What had been done, period. And for obvious reasons, he knew I wasn't in the position to be with him. I said, but he's always asking me to be patient with him. He keeps saying he's going to do a 180 for me and the kids. How many times has he said that? Bricks thoughtfully asked. I already knew what he was getting at. Bricks asked, do you ever believe him when he's spitting that bullshit out of his mouth? I genuinely was unsure. So, are you sharing this with me because you're trying to let me know that you ain't trying to fuck with me like that? I've been telling you I can't fuck with you like that simply because you're Major's daddy. I thought last Sunday we were on the same page. Our picnic date had ended with a very lustful kiss that had me ablaze. It left me eager to see him again. Our date would have lasted longer if we didn't need to get back to our realities. Charmaine's back-to-back calling had reminded us of that. I guess I had allowed myself to get lost in the moment and was ready to go all in. But for every courageous moment or thought, I had a cowardly one that nudged me off the ledge. We were, I think. Hell, I don't know. But you know our situation's fucked up, Bricks. And you know how I feel about me not really matching your lifestyle. Bricks' grin is taken aback. Tia, come on, man. Don't start with that silly shit. I don't even understand how you come up with that conclusion. I hate it when you said that shit then, and I hate it now. Stop saying that. I gave him an offhanded shrug. I mean, look how you dress. Look at what you drive. Okay. You act like I won't have you set up the same way. It's not really me, though, I countered. And that's okay too. We ain't got a matching style, love. I'ma love your ass regardless. I blushed. He sure had a way of making me feel warm and fuzzy despite my trivial thoughts. So, what do you say to him after he say fuck shit? I tell him I'll see. But Bricks, I know you keep pointing out my tolerance for Major and suggesting I should move on, with you in particular, but I don't see you getting rid of Charmaine. I ain't pressing you to get rid of the nigga just yet. Just don't let his stupid ass get in our way. His tone was aggressive and callous. I looked at him intently. What was his agenda? Sometimes I felt like it wasn't just about his need to be with me. It felt like something deeper was going on. I guess he saw the alarm in my eyes and he softened. Sorry, love, but I ain't. He shook his head, letting the words die. We sat in silence, but could hear Vonda downstairs moving about and gossiping on the phone with somebody. All I knew was somebody got a whole bunch of money from the PPP and gave it all to that nigga. He smoked all the shit up and now they can't even buy the baby some Pampers. Looking over at him, I could see the anguish etched into his face. He told me that when he and I were over, that it broke his heart, especially when I denied him being Rain's father. I didn't want to believe him, or maybe that was a cynical side of me that had developed over the years. But seeing the hurt before me seemed real. I felt terrible for causing him any pain, and I now realized how my actions and decisions had been selfish. And now karma was coming and kicking my ass being with Major. Bricks, I whispered softly, I'm sorry for not choosing you. You straight, he murmured. You probably hate me, huh? He released a soft laugh. Hate you? Never. Hell, I don't hold on to no ill feelings for you at all. And you're willing to risk being hurt again dealing with me and my mess? Tia, you're a beautiful mess. But if given the opportunity, I can clean all that up and you'll just be beautiful. Oh, that's deep. Them some words right there, them bars. Don't know if you know this, but I told your daddy I'd take care of you. You know who else said that? Kanye West. Yeah, you still owe Mr. Rainey a fucking marriage, my nigga. We ain't forgot. Shocked, I gasped. Daddy knew about us? Brick smiled. Yeah, because I went to him about my intent with you. But then you stopped fucking with me. This was truly a shocker. Bricks and I met through my daddy. At the time, my daddy, artist Buck Moyer, was Brick's supervisor when he was working his warehouse job. They had grown close, so one day when I was visiting my daddy, Bricks happened to be there. My daddy and I were just rebuilding a relationship, and then he died of a heart attack shortly after. I asked, why didn't you come to Daddy's funeral? I did, but I didn't stay long. I paid my respects and saw you there and had to dip. My emotions were all over the place. Shit, old Buck was my nigga. If it wasn't for him turning me on to this property shit, I wouldn't be where I was at. Well, doing life the right way at least. He used to talk me out of getting back in them streets all the time. Buck was like a second daddy to me on some real shit. I just hate he ain't here to see me make good on my promise to take care of you. Because he said he always regretted not being in your life and doing right by you when you were little. But no, that man appreciated and loved that you were giving him another chance. My heart melted thinking of my daddy. He was the sweetest man, unlike V's crackhead ass. But that was a kicker. Buck was a crackhead out there with V back in the day. That was why my grandmama raised me. However, Buck had to separate himself from V in order to get his life together. Consequently, in doing so, that meant sacrificing his time with me as a father. I didn't hold it against him, though. I reached out one day, and he was overjoyed. Knowing this bit of information only fueled my adulation and reverence for Bricks. When he gazed deeply into my eyes, I was unable to look away. There was a profound desire building up from my center and up to my chest, a longing that had been left unsatisfied for some time now. I wanted him to fill that void in that moment. I needed him, but we couldn't. Well, maybe this one time wouldn't hurt. No, I couldn't. I was so engrossed with my grappling thoughts and stuck staring at him that it startled me when he knelt down before me. He started removing my shoes. Nervously, I asked, "What are you doing?" "Just enjoy this," was all he said. When he went for the waist of my leggings, I knew he wasn't just trying to massage my feet again. I grabbed his hand to stop him. "Bricks." "Stop," he ordered. "Let me do this." "Your sister." "Fuck her." My heart started beating wildly and my mouth went dry. I felt so horrible releasing his hands and allowing him to tug both my leggings and panties down and off. He slung them to the side and wedged his body between my legs. Relax and open. I leaned back on my arms and slowly let my legs open to him. He threw my legs over his shoulders, causing me to lean back even more, before I felt his lips against my lips, leaving small delicate kisses until his tongue finally invaded my slit. Pacing himself slowly, his tongue explored every crevice of my pussy in the most gentle and loving way, caused me to throw my head back and moan out loud. He was good. He was damn good. This was a more pleasant experience than what I had endured the night before. Like I said, as part of Major's groveling, he insisted on giving me some head. I didn't resist as I did with Bricks because shit, Major owed me. Eating my pussy was the least he could do. And I told Major so many times in so many different ways that just because he ate pussy nastily didn't mean it was good to everybody, me specifically. I even tried to school him on paying attention to how my body responded, listen to my breathing, and what sounds I made. No. He thought he knew everything and couldn't nobody tell him he wasn't the best. I gave up trying to tell him he was going about it wrong. He thought because I pushed him away that it was so good I couldn't take it. No, buddy. It doesn't feel good, and that's why I push you away. For one woman, they may need a lot of pressure to get them off, but my little girl down there don't want all that. And then don't let him use his fingers. At that point, just stop, dude. Needless to say, I had to fake an orgasm to get him to stop. I pretended to be overly spent so he'd leave me alone, or wouldn't expect reciprocated attention, because I had no intention of giving any. I would roll over and fall asleep, which is the worst thing to do because he thought he was doing something. So yes, this was so welcoming, invigorating even. With my heart racing and breathing labored, my legs widened, wanting to pull his mouth further on me. I lay flat on the bed now with both hands on his head as his tongue swirled around toying with my clit. It didn't take long before I felt myself losing control and I started speaking incoherently. My clit throbbed and ached. I was peaking and needed that one swipe of the tongue. And then it rushed me like a raging torrent. My pussy walls twitched, warning me that an eruption was imminent. Oh fuck, baby, I breathed heavily. Oh fuck, oh shit, I'm gonna come. He hummed against me. I came with an intensity that I hadn't experienced in a while. I couldn't withstand it because now, in this moment, it was actually that good. And his tongue never relented. My hands didn't know if I wanted to punch him in the head or fuck the shit out of his face to get it all out. I wanted to scream and release all that built up, but I remember Vonda was downstairs. Shit. His mouth left my pussy and he was now on top of me, passionately kissing me in between murmuring sweet nothings, trying to soothe me and bring me back down to earth. I was delirious and my head was spinning. I felt out of it, but that shit was so damn good. You love that shit, don't you? He whispered before engulfing my lips in a hunger that I was too eager to return. Shit, that was beautiful, baby. His kisses began to trail down my neck into my breast and my t-shirt. His hands found their way underneath and somehow got under my bra too, and began roughly massaging my breasts and finally my nipples. Take all this off, he finally ordered. As I did what he told me, he raised up and removed his own shirt, revealing a toned, tatted chest and subtly defined tatted abs with a layer of fine fuzz trailing up to his navel. Shit was so sexy to me. Before he even pushed his joggers and boxer briefs down, I could see that monster of his trying his best to spring out. It was obvious Major must have taken after his mama's side in that department because he and Bricks were not the same. Not the same at all. Not to say Major was slacking, he was pretty average in length but quite thick. But Bricks was blessed in length and thickness, and when it was free, my stomach quivered at the thought of what it was about to do to me. He brought his mouth back down onto mine and locked into a wild, wet, and passionate kiss before he brought his hardness to my opening. He eased himself in so tenderly, allowing me to feel every inch of his thickness intrude on my most delicate space and take up occupancy. I gasped and held his gaze. His eyes as sexually lowered and hazed over as if he too were intoxicated with the essence of me. There was no going back now. Thank God. I was fucking Major's daddy and this shit felt glorious. His slow, deep strokes increased in pace, becoming faster and deeper to the point that I had to keep my hands on his hips to control penetration. He had me moaning, whimpering, and on the verge of crying. Move your hands, he ordered. I tried, but as soon as he hit what felt like bottom, my hands would fly right back to his hips. What the fuck did I say? He growled. He knocked my hands back, but as soon as he dipped too deep, I pushed on him again. He snarled, "You're hard-headed." He raised up to push my legs back, and then bared his weight on the back of my thighs, keeping my legs pinned for deeper penetration. He proceeded to drive his dick in me with rigid, fervent thrusts. "Ooh!" I serenaded with every pounding. "You feel that?" "Yes," I cried. "I'm up in that stomach?" "Yes." "Do it feel good?" "Yes." "But you taking this dick good, though?" "Yes." "You gonna give me this pussy whenever I want it?" "Yes." He eased his weight off my legs, but still kept me open as he remained up on his haunches, continuing to thrust in and out. "Keep them legs up." I did as I watched him adore me with his eyes. His hands caressed me and massaged my breasts as they bounced to the cadence of our lovemaking. My walls clenched repeatedly, holding him in its grip. "Ooh," he crooned. "I love when you do that shit. Keep doing it." I did it on demand as he continued massaging my insides. "You're so beautiful." His eyes seemed to gloss over with adoration. With his pace long in the most deliberate, amorous way, one of his hands found its way to my pussy, and he delicately rubbed on my clit. It sent ripples of orgasmic-like pleasure through my body, causing my legs to clench up. "Stop," he ordered. He began circling my clit with his thumb again, and it was just too much, especially when he drove his dick in too deep. My legs snapped closed, entrapping his hand. "Baby," I whimpered. "God damn, you so hard-headed," he spat. "Turn over then." I did, but I guess I was moving too slow because he yanked me around and positioned me exactly how he wanted me. Breast to the bed, ass in the air, and back dipped. I whimpered at the feel of his entrance. I felt him shudder behind me as he let out his own guttural groan. That sensation did something to him because he proceeded to unleash a vigorous punishment upon me. There was no way I could throw it back and match him pound for pound. I forgot about Vonda and cried out with every thrust. It was all too exhilarating, and I didn't want it to end. I hadn't been fucked this way in what seemed like forever. His ability to maintain his hardness and his size alone was exciting and something I definitely missed. I was somewhat disappointed when he announced his impending orgasm, but before I could get my brain to think right, I felt him shuddering behind me, and I could actually feel his dick pulsating as he came while still inside me. "Shit," I hissed. I hopped off his now flaccid member, flipped over and glared at him. "Why didn't you ask if it was okay to come inside me?" "It wasn't?" he asked, dumbfounded. "No, nigga, it what? The fuck are we doing here, y'all? Like, what? Nigga, what? You didn't get consent for none of this, actually, since we're having this conversation. You didn't get consent for none of this shit. Like, you just went down on her. You just pulled her leggings and panties off, her shoes off, and all that shit. She didn't consent to none of this. You're just good. But cream pieing her was not on the menu. You know she got a man. You did that shit on purpose." I cut my eyes at him and went to hop off the bed. He grabbed me and pulled me close. "Don't ruin the moment, love. I'll get you one of those pills, okay?" I looked at him like he was crazy. "Oh, is this something you regularly do? You go around coming inside of women and then offering them a morning after?" He grimaced. "The fuck? Stop talking crazy, Tia," he softened. "I know being pregnant ain't something you're trying to do right now. It was stupid and reckless on my part. And I know you ain't trying to hear that after I did the shit to you, but to put you at ease. Yeah, I ain't fucked up with getting a plan B." I relaxed a little, staring into his eyes. What had we done? What had I done? Because no matter what, with me being the woman, I would be shunned and scrutinized the most for messing with Major's daddy. No one would care about the history between me and Briggs. They wouldn't care that I'd been with Briggs first and didn't know he was Major's daddy. They wouldn't care that he and I had an emotional connection that raged with a passion greater than what was between me and Major. He must have read my mind. "Baby, don't worry. What we just did was beautiful, and it was too fucking good, love. Fuck anybody that has a problem with it. Just promise you ain't gonna make a fool out of me, Briggs." I was serious. It was bad enough that I had been a clown for Major all this time. What it looked like me being a clown for his daddy, too. Briggs said, "I told you. I got you. Trust me." I just didn't think I could. He released me to get up. He reached out to help me to my feet. Come on, let's clean up so I can treat you to lunch. Spend the rest of the day with me, please. I think this was the beginning of the most complicated shit to ever happen in my life. And this nigga better not have disturbed my flora queendom. I don't know what that means, but I'm glad that they finally made a move. Like something finally happened. I wish it had consent behind it, but past that, good. Chapter 16, Major. Man, the whole time I was in Oaktown, something just kept nagging at me. It was like it sat heavy in the pit of my stomach. A nigga couldn't even really enjoy himself like usual. Baby, it's 5 o'clock. I looked over my shoulder at Kelly, my snow bunny. I had been sprawled across her bed going through my phone. Alright, babe. You ain't gotta go back to Jewel City just yet, she said. I gotta work tomorrow. I rolled over onto my back and stared up at the ceiling. Honestly, fuck the work. It was about Tia. She had me fucked up. All I could think about was Lavinia's crackhead ass letting me know her daughter was texting some nigga while she was doing her hair. And I knew Lavinia only told me about it so she could get something free, but I appreciated it. Tia's ass always tried to portray this image like she was just so loyal to a nigga, but I've been knowing what was up. A bitch like her can't look that fucking good and not be approached by niggas constantly. I knew she wasn't capable of rejecting all those advances. You mean like you? And I knew I had to tighten up on the shit I was doing, or I was gonna lose her. Doing better was my intentions, but in the meantime, I hate to have to fuck her ass up if she was letting another nigga get in my shit. I'ma try and do better, but at the same time, I'ma beat you up if you keep doing exactly what I'm doing to me, because that ain't cool. Okay. What's wrong? Kelly asked. She lay across the bed beside me. Just a lot of shit on my mind. Is there anything I can do to help? I looked at her and ran my hand over her head and caressed her face. Nah, bae. Don't stress yourself worrying about me. I can deal with this shit on my own. But thank you. She smiled as she carefully pushed up from the bed. She walked over to the dresser where her purse had been and pulled out a prescription bottle. I got these from Daddy. I sat up and took the bottle from her. What are these? Oxytins. Hell yeah. I needed these being that I was running low on my supplies. It's only 20 in there though. Good looking out, bae. Bring your ass here, I told her as I scooted to the edge of the bed. She came and wedged her body between my legs, throwing her arms around my neck. You know I'll be looking out for you, she said and pecked my lips. I know, and that's why I love you like I do. I gave her pudgy belly a rub. How you feeling? Her hand went to her stomach. She beamed proudly. A little nausea, but I'm good. Can't wait till I start showing. Just imagine how big I'm going to eventually get. Better hope it's just one in there. It better be just one. I couldn't imagine 2 little motherfuckers crying and shitting at the same damn time. So, have you thought about how we gonna do this? Kelly asked. I mean, did y'all expect me to comment on the fact that he done knocked up this girl in a whole nother city? Did you? Because I wasn't. And now I'm commenting to let you know I ain't gonna comment. So the official comment is no comment. I think about it all the time. But I just started working for my daddy, and he paying a nigga good, too. But you hadn't even tried looking around here for a job, Major, she whined. Bae, look. Even if I did find something down here that would hire a felon, it ain't the same as working for a motherfucker you know. And it's my daddy on top of that. It's flexible. I ain't stressing. He ain't finna make me take no drug test and shit. Plus, the nigga just said he was gonna beat her up if she's over there dealing with other niggas. Meanwhile, he done knocked somebody up. She thought on it, then pulled away from me. Well, what about the other thing we talked about? Go ahead and look into it, I told her. Major, don't have me uproot my life here where all my family is to live in Jewel City and then you flake on me. I wouldn't do that, bae. It's us. On me. On my kids. She eyed me suspiciously. Is it really us? Yeah, why are you even asking that? Then who's that girl always on your Facebook? Who? She could be talking about anybody. A nigga be getting stalked by a bunch of bitches I done either fucked with or was just shooting the shit with. Half of them I wasn't even serious about. But if they had some kind of connection to anything I needed, hell yeah, I told them what they wanted to hear to make them feel better about doing shit for me. Just like Kelly, too. Only thing was, I fucked up and got her pregnant. Or at least I thought I did. I didn't think I could get a bitch pregnant anymore. Tutu and Little Major were conceived during the days I fucked with powder. Plus, I was younger. I really think the cocaine amped up my swimmers, though. And as far as rain, she had to be a fluke too. Either that or she wasn't mine, which was still a possibility. Kelly wasn't showing her anything yet, and she said I was the only nigga she was fucking with. Since she showed me a positive pregnancy test and had been going to the doctor, I wanted to believe her. Shit, a nigga had a baby on the way. Kelly retrieved her phone and started tapping around on it. She shoved it in my face, and on the screen was Tia's page. That bitch a stalker too, I lied. Really? So why? She tapped around some more, then came to one of Tia's photos. In this picture, it looks like the same background as one of your pictures from last month. She went to my profile and found the picture in question. The hell if I know, I said animatedly. Hopefully, my agitation would deter her from asking about the shit. But she used to do my hair when I first came home. You remember, when I was getting my hair braided up. Bitch was crazy. Are you? Look, man, if you need to know, hit her up. She'll tell you. If she tell you anything other than she used to do my hair, then she lying. But bitches be messy and try and get in each other's heads and shit. Have you doubting your man? I'm not doubting you. It's just, I don't know what you be doing or who you be doing when you ain't here, Major. That's all. Hey, stop being so insecure. I done told you. All I do is work, serve a little, get in my zone, and chill with my dudes. By the way, she's still waiting on that birthday gift you promised. She smiled hearing the last part. I gotta call her. I might drive up there next weekend and take her to her favorite place for breakfast. She'd like that, I told her. Well, since you working for your daddy, and you said he got properties all over Jewel City, you think he could rent one out to us? I hadn't thought about that. Me and Brick still weren't close or buddies yet, even with me just starting to work for him. Didn't think he'd come through for a nigga a second time on the apartment tip. I could still try though. I can ask. Shit, that'll help out a lot. If you do, you can move next month or maybe sooner. I gotta find a job first, and I gotta put in my 2 weeks notice. Okay, but let me chop it up with Pops and we'll go from there. She threw her arms around me in a tight hug. I'm excited. You're the best. You better know it. I reached down and squeezed her ass. What you get me to eat? I stopped at Richie's and got you a T-bone with a loaded potato the way you like. You ready for it now? Yeah, get it ready for me. I watched her happily exit the bedroom. While she was doing that, I went through some of my text messages and realized Tia hadn't texted a nigga since morning. That wasn't like her when I was in Oaktown. She usually blew a nigga up every hour on the hour. What was she up to? Though we were friends on Facebook, she didn't post shit about me and I didn't post her either. Just like her issue with coming around my mama's side of the family, she said she didn't post me because I wasn't nothing proud to post about. Ain't that some shit? That's why I couldn't stand her ass most of the time. Her mouth. And she acted like the shit she said to me didn't hurt a nigga's feelings. Hell, some of that shit be hurting like hell. I hated that she felt the need to remind me of all the bad shit I was as if she was perfect. I knew I needed to tighten up, but I wasn't about to stop doing me until I was ready. On her Instagram, though, she had blocked me a long time ago after a stupid-ass argument. She still wouldn't accept my request to follow. I texted Tia, WID. She sent me a single flip-off emoji. Me, miss you, kissy face emoji. She sent me another flip-off emoji. Me, how come I ain't heard from you? Tia, your girlfriend must have stepped out, eye roll emoji. Me, where baby girl at? Tia, not with you. Me, what's up with this attitude? Tia, nothing. Me, I miss y'all for real. I'm gonna call you in a minute. No matter how much me and Tia went at it, I wasn't trying to be without her. It was almost as if I fed off her energy. If I went too long without her feistiness and combativeness, I couldn't function. It was why I had to reach out to her even when I was in Oaktown up under another bitch. They didn't do for me what she did for me, but they provided things I couldn't get out of her, which is why at this time I didn't mind juggling everybody. But I knew I would wear my ass out eventually and would have to settle. And though Kelly was a couple of months pregnant with my child, I wasn't trying to be with her like that. I mean, I loved Kelly. She fucked with a nigga tough. Even had my name tatted on her in 2 places. But she wasn't Tia though. Finally arriving in Jewel City and pulling up to the townhouse, I thought I was tripping when I saw my daddy's Escalade in my parking spot. It kinda irritated me. Like, nigga, respect the fact that that was my spot and you park your ass somewhere else. Now I had to park in the damn designated visitor parking. Also, I wasn't really feeling another nigga being in my house with my lady like that. I didn't care if it was my daddy. Hell, that motherfucker was a man like the rest of us. You know what I found out? Niggas that are Goes back to the black father group that I'm in, right? These niggas be like, yo, you shouldn't have no man around your significant other. Doesn't matter if it's your brother, your dad, your son's friend, your daughter's boyfriend. You shouldn't have no nigga around your significant other, because if your significant other gave them even a chance to get in them draws, they jumping. What I realize is that niggas who say that are usually the niggas who are going around other people's significant others and trying to get in their draws. That's it. The trust is built when you realize that they trust you just as much as you trust them. And if you don't trust them, it's because you think that you're doing some fuck shit. More often than not. Sure, there might be signs, there might be things that are going on, but more often than not, if you cheating on your significant other, then you looking at them like, why are you cheating all the time? Plus, I swear on my grandmama, Bricks and Tia on some funny shit. It was how they be looking at each other. I didn't know what it was, but I was going to get to the bottom of it. People be thinking Bricks was this upstanding dude, but the nigga grimy as fuck. Nigga, didn't you have his girlfriend sucking your dick in her car or in your car? Also noticed that a lot of the lights were cut on inside, as if a party or some shit was going on inside. And the closer I got to the door, I could hear that there was a lot of people inside. The door opened before I could stick my head in. Mercedes was staring back at me with her nose turned up playfully, and I think he's fucking her too. I'm still pretty confident on that one. Where you been, big head? Minding my business, I joked back as she brushed past me. On my mama, that girl was ready to give me the pussy. But even I had lines I wouldn't cross. Little mama had to be 3 years into adulthood first, no exceptions. Once she was legal, I'd slam her ass like a domino and then turn around and fuck on her mama. Lex's little she-man ass was following behind her. With a straight face, she said, "Oh look, the disappointment has shown up." Her dyke ass irritated my soul. Nigga, fuck your little ugly ass. No, you ugly nigga. Amari giggled, following behind her. I think a part of me was feeling a little relieved to see Bricks didn't come alone. Truth be told, I would have thought he'd come over here by himself or some fuck shit as a chance to push up on Tia. I stepped inside and was immediately annoyed. I didn't like Tia's friends because them bitches didn't like me. But here they were sitting they bitter asses in my house. Then there was Bricks and my uncle Travis, but they looked like they were heading out too. This shit wasn't settling right with me. Like, why the fuck all these niggas up in my house? What up, nephew? Travis hollered. From the looks of it, he must have been feeling tennis ball head ass Shantae because he was leaving her side. What up, Unc? I responded. I head nodded towards Bricks. Though I didn't like the nigga like that, I still tried to maintain cordialness because he was pretty resourceful. Plus, the streets respected him, even if I didn't. I got secondhand respect because of it. I could hear kids' voices come from upstairs. I asked, "Why is all the lights on in this motherfucker?" "The kids been running through here," Tia answered, not even looking my way. Damn, why couldn't she be like other bitches and greet a nigga, take my bag, and tell me how much she missed me? Was that too much to ask for? That pause because I was trying not to laugh. Seriously, I hate this nigga. I looked at Bricks and Travis. Why y'all niggas in my house? And B, why that big black motherfucker in my parking spot? Nigga, we was dropping the kids off, Bricks grimaced. Tia added, yeah, Tutu's still here. Confused, I asked, why you drop him off over here? Where was his mama? Bricks shrugged. We couldn't get a hold of her. He's the one that said just drop him off with Tia. But we done spoke to Misha now. She's supposed to be on her way or whatever. You here so you can work that shit out now. And nephew, when we came inside, I was liking the company your girl was keeping, Travis added, giving Shantae a playful look. Her Caillou ass head blushed. Caillou. Fuck that nigga too. Like, I'm going to break into a rant real quick to just let y'all know how much Caillou was a fucking horrible role model for your little kids. It's not just the fact that he's whiny. It's not just the fact that he's selfish. It's not just the fact that he's mean. It's not just the fact that he's repugnant. It's not just the fact that he's literally the fucking worst. It's not any of those things. It's all of those things. Plus the fact that his parents let him get away with it and just giggle shit off. Like, the nigga treats everybody like trash. Dirt trash. Fuck Caillou. Big head ass bitch. By the way, I made a remix of the intro song for Caillou's Big Head Ass Show. That's the name of the show. When my son was like 4. I'm gonna play it right now.
I'm just a kid who's 4. Each day I grow some more. I like exploring. I'm David. So many things to do. Each day is something new. I'll share them with. I'm David.
I made that shit when he was like 4. Of course, because it said it. But I was doing it before that when he was 3 too. It's just memories. I would have him on my show. And he would talk about, like that part right there, the part that I didn't play was where he was telling me about the first time he rode a bike and he flipped over the front and how he wanted to be a ninja when he grew up. It was great. He's way better than Caillou. Way better. I looked at Bricks and Travis. Well, bye, motherfuckers. I looked at my watch to see it was almost 8 o'clock at night. I pointed at Shantae and Shiva. Y'all can go with their ass. Shiva flipped me off with a blank face. Shantae stood up and called for her son. I guess we'll go. School in the morning anyway. Well, I'm glad y'all kept me and Taj company, Tia said, still ignoring me. She stood up as if she was going to see them to their cars. Shantae's son came thumping down the stairs, followed by Shiva's little girl. They all made their way outside. I hung back, making sure Tia didn't turn her attention to Bricks getting in his Escalade. I waited until he pulled off and turned out the parking lot before I left the door. For some reason, I didn't trust them niggas. Though I ate what Kelly had gotten me, I was disappointed to see that Tia hadn't cooked, but I saw she had leftovers from somewhere sitting on the stove. Seconds later, I heard the door shut and the clicking of the locks. I walked back in the living room where Tia was straightening up. Since being in this townhouse, Tia was better at keeping shit clean. For a second, I watched her move around. As usual, she was looking good, but I noticed she had been wearing more fitting clothes lately. The clothes she was wearing wasn't provocative or nothing, but the way they clung to her body made her appear promiscuous. Where you been at? I asked. Nowhere, she answered coolly. I wasn't buying that. Where you get that food then? Well, yeah, I got me and Todd something to eat, but I was thinking you was talking about where had I been out. I was asking about anywhere. Rain came downstairs, not paying much attention to me, which was unusual. Hey, baby girl, I greeted. You miss me? Rain shook her head. I had fun at Poppy's house. He said I can come back. Can't I, Mama? Tia nodded with a smile. Yeah, and I'm glad you had a good time. Maybe you could convince your brother to go next time. Rain rolled her little green eyes dramatically. Taj will stay not here. What? Taj will stay not here. Maybe because she's a baby. I don't know. Taj will stay not here. He going next time because Poppy got everything. Fuck that nigga, I spat. Rain addressed me in a chastising way that was too cute. Yo, you can't not say that to Daddy because Poppy my daddy too. He my real. Tia started pushing Rain. Go put your pajamas on and take your toe to bed. But Poppy is Rain, Tia scolded. Go to bed. Rain frowned up as she stomped her little ass back upstairs. What's she talking about? I asked curiously. What Briggs done said to her that got her acting so crazy about his ass already? Nothing, Tia mumbled as she continued cleaning. After she was satisfied with the living room, she brushed past me and went into the kitchen. I followed her in there and sat at the table while she started cleaning up. I think we need to talk, I said. Not slowing down, she asked, about what? About us. I don't like where we are. Like lately, you've been really coming at a nigga and all I've been doing is looking out for us. She didn't respond. That space was not her not responding. That space was me side-eyeing the book. I gotta give it to Ivy. She's really good at writing fuck niggas. Like, she's been through some shit. And that's sad and yet frustrating and yet amusing all at the same time. Tia, what? You hear me? No, what you say? She heard me. What's up with us? Are we still in this to the end? She half shrugged. I don't know. You tell me. I wouldn't be trying to have this damn talk with your ass if I wasn't trying to be. I'm just trying to see where you stand with us getting back to where we used to be. Where we used to be? Her face screwed up with confusion. And what was that? Because if memory serves me right, we ain't never been at a good place. We just were. Know what I mean? And now we're at a more fucked up place. Taking offense, I snapped. What What you mean we ain't never been at a good place? At the beginning, shit was good. At the beginning, the wool was over my eyes, she said. She stopped moving about and backed up against the sink to stare at me. And what you're feeling now is that the wool been lifted and I'm getting sick of your shit. My shit? You act like your motherfucking ass perfect. I be getting sick of your shit too, Tia. She shook her head with a slight chuckle. Yeah, okay. So, you dismissing how a nigga feel? Oh, you can feel? Wow, I didn't know that. To hell with her and her goddamn sarcasm. Oh, God. The fuck she thought this was? Fuck you. No, Major. Fuck you. Every weekend you leave. Every fucking weekend I have no man. Then you want to talk all funky and shit to me. I can't rely on you for not a damn thing. I don't want to have sex with you because all I ever get is BV. The fuck is BV? According to Urban Dictionary, BV could mean bad vibes, but it also could mean butt virginity, and it could also, BVS, big vagina syndrome, and bacterial vaginosis. Like, niggas, please, come on. We're just going to say it's bad vibes, okay? So, BV. I'm not happy, and I haven't been 97% this whole time. I think she means 97% of this entire time we've been together. That's what I'm going to assume. Okay. And now you want me to compromise everything I stand for in support of you using women because, as you say, they stupid. It's not okay. It's lame. You present yourself as a nothing-ass nigga. You have no integrity or dignity. And the shit ain't cute, Major. Then why you want to be with me if I'm all these things? She yelled angrily. That's just it. I don't. I tried to tell you I was over this shit. That shit hurt. I think a nigga was about to cry. So you don't want me no more? I don't want how you treat me. What woman in her right mind would? She was tripping. Nigga, you the only one who want to shit on a nigga. Hell, I know I'm a good dude and plenty of women would love. Where? She shouted. Her eyes got big and it was like she was bucking at a nigga. Where? Major, where are you good? Where the fuck is all this coming from? Let me find out she got some nigga in her ear because she hadn't been talking like this. Our relationship is stagnant, Major. It's going nowhere. We should be building and progressing as a couple. I feel stuck with you. And I'm ready to give school my all and I just don't need all the stress that comes with this between us. She wouldn't admit it, but I knew this was about another nigga. But I was going to play the game with her ass too until I figured out who the nigga was. What you mean give school your all? She scoffed with a slight chuckle as she shook her head. I'm enrolling in school. School? For what? What she needed to be focused on was doing hair. I knew bitches that saw thousands a week doing hair. Tia was bullshitting. Hell, if she tightened up her game and was about her bread, I wouldn't have to be out here charging women. Sorry. That was a pause because I was debating whether or not to look up if doing too many side eyes will cause your eyes to permanently look that way or if it was just a black myth because I don't want no flies going by while I'm reading this fucking book. I want to get licensed and work out of my own shop professionally. Why do all that when you could just do it from here and not pay out all that extra? She stared at me blankly like a motherfucker and said something stupid. Frustrated, she released a groan. What's all that for? I asked. It's these type of things, Major. Why wouldn't you want to see me in my own shop? Hell, I wanted to see you go back to school and become a barber, but I can't want that for you and you don't want it. I do want it. It's just not a priority right now. We got other shit we got to take care of. Like what? She challenged. When I didn't respond right away, she dismissed me with another scoff. I finally said, we need to be working on us though. Major, she exclaimed, frustrated. I told you I really don't need the stress. But what if we work it out? I mean, I know a nigga need to improve in some areas, and it's why I love you like I do, because you push me to be better. Believe it or not, I hear you when you think I ain't listening to you. I want to be that man for you. I want you to be happy. I paused, thinking of what more I could say to reel it in. Tia folded her arms across her titties and wouldn't make eye contact with me. Baby, listen, I pleaded. I love your ass, and the nigga ain't perfect, and I know I be having you feeling some way, but I miss when we enjoyed each other. You my world, bae, and I can't stand when you be acting like you don't want to bother with a nigga. So sometimes I get in my feelings and be like, fuck it. You feel me? She looked back at me with sympathy in her eyes and nodded. Come here. I motioned for her to come to me. She let her arms fall and reluctantly walked over to me. I pulled her into me, wrapping my arms around her waist. I need to know you still with a nigga. Not just physically, but mentally too. I need to know I'm still in your motherfucking heart, cause you got mine. This nigga taught like a 10th grader writing love letters back in like 1997. Why do I know that? Cause I was a 10th grader writing love letters back in fucking 1996. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just a client. I'm the fucking president. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. She nodded again. I love you, Tia. I needed her to say it back. You hear me? I love you, bae. Love you too, she whispered. From here on out, I'ma do better. We gonna do better. What about the weekends, though? That's finna be over with soon. I'ma start bringing little Major down here to spend the weekend with us as a family. For real? Yeah. She gave me one of her skeptical looks. Major, don't be playing with me. I'm not, baby. I promise. I need us to get better so we can start building and obtaining shit. Okay. Her voice lacked emotion. Okay? Yeah, she said as she pulled away to get back to cleaning the kitchen. Just so you know, I'll be focused on me and what I need to do to better position myself. Either you get right, Major, or you getting left. You'll see. I watched her moving about. Then it hit me. Hey, what's BV? 916-633-1537. Ratchet and Ratchet at gmail.com. Ratchet Book Club on Twitter. Ratchet Book Club on Facebook. Leave a review on Spotify. Leave a review on Podchaser. Copy and paste that in Apple Podcasts. Copy and paste that in the Good Pods. Donate to the show at patreon.com/single simulcast or at buymeacoffee.com/sscast or on the Good Pods app. You can leave a tip in the tip jar. Yeah. Thank y'all so much for listening. I greatly appreciate y'all. I mean, I ain't saying nothing bad about the author of this book because I am always going to support black women, especially when they're writing about anything, really. There's no grammatical issues in this book for the most part. There's no nothing. And since she literally, the at the point where I was saying this shit need to change, it changed. I'm like, okay, let's go. It's just, this is a long-ass book. Thank y'all so much for listening. I think it's more because, I just need more time. Fucking making us go back to work and work in offices and shit is really taking away from everything else I could be doing. And so that's why the show isn't coming out on a continuous like it used to. But hopefully, I can get that shit figured out soon. Anyhow, thank y'all so much for listening. I do greatly appreciate it. Y'all be good. I'm holler at you later. Peace. The intro and outro to Ratchet Book Club is by That Kid Garan, and it's called Goodbyes. You can email him at tkgbeats94@gmail.com for more information on how to lease this beat.
This is Single Simulcast.